All right, hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're here in Lake Forest. We're starting a kitchen extension and some walls coming down. I want to take you around. Let's look at it. So, right here you can see this was where the existing wall is. And this is one of the walls that they want to come down. Now, because this is a vaulted ceiling, what we have is we have a ridge beam here, and they have what looks like to be 2x12s that extend over to this wall right here. And then they lapped on, looks like maybe a 2x8 on top of this wall, and that carries it over here. This area is still gonna be vaulted, but to get the wall removed, we're gonna have to put a beam in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna temp up both sides, and that's gonna hold the weight of the roof while we remove the wall and then prep our area for the new beam. So in this case, the new beam is gonna go all the way up to the ceiling, and then the drywall will just go up to the beam, and then on the other side, drywall will continue. And the beam is an engineered beam, so we'll most likely wrap it with some kind of wood, maybe it's oak, maybe something to match what they currently have there. Now, one of the other things is because this all lands right here where the beam and the post would come down, the homeowners do not want this beam, and I don't blame them. So what we did is we opened up this section, and what that means is we're gonna have to add another beam that's gonna carry the weight of the post for the vaulted beam. So as you can see right here, there are currently 2 beams that are landing on the post. So what we're gonna do again is we're gonna temp up this section of wall, and we're going to remove the existing beams, install a new larger beam. Now because this has a second floor, this created a problem for us. The engineer was not allowed to go beyond the floor sheeting. So as you can see right here, this is a 4x10. So we only have 10 inches from the plate to the subfloor. And if we would have just taken the beam and pushed it through, then that beam would go up into the wall and over the floor. And there's a closet in that area. So we could have done it, but it wouldn't have looked great. So what we're going to do in place is just make the beam wider. And we're gonna do an engineered beam. So this is gonna be a glue lam here. And that was the choice of the engineer and the options we had. So the next video you see, you're gonna most likely see the walls down and the new beam here. We're gonna do new, looks like to be 6x8 posts on both sides to hold the weight of this beam. And that will free up this. We got 2 new windows that are gonna go up right there by the ridge. This window is closing up, so with that closing up and those new windows there, it just kind of gives more space of light, which is really nice. All the floors are getting ripped out. They have tile, some carpet. Tile is always a pain in the butt because if it's over concrete or if it's over subfloor, just getting the thin set up is just really difficult. So you end up having to grind a lot of the thin set down to get a smooth surface to be able to prep it for the new floors. Where carpet, so much easier. You just pull it up, you have the pad, you have your nailing plates, and that's basically it. So in here, that's really all we're doing. We're just gonna paint, do new flooring. They already have new lights in here. It's just gonna get freshened up. We're not gonna touch the fireplace. So over here in the kitchen, all this ducting will have to get relocated. Right here, you can see we capped some old water lines. So this was their hot and cold coming in here. This is their drain and their vent line. And this was pretty common because you have a large window above your sink area, it's headed out. And you don't want to run your plumbing through your studs right here because it takes away a lot of the meat of the wood. And sometimes it can make the wall itself a little loose. So they'll run the pipe on the outside over here and then bring the vent line up. And that's why this support right here doesn't get compromised as well. Chewing through this you know, because it's going to be like maybe a 2-inch diameter hole. And then again, the support for this gets compromised. So you'll see this a lot. The homeowners are contemplating, I think, doing a PEX repipe. So we're still in talks with them on that one. Otherwise, all the plumbing underneath the sink will get replaced. The kitchen will get rewired. This is all going to stay vaulted, so it'll be open, which will be really nice. The cabinetry wraps down here all the way to the wall, and then a ginormous island goes in here, which is going to be great for entertaining. They just really wanted to use as much space of this area as possible. They didn't really use this formal dining section, which I seem like a lot of people really don't use anymore. Unless you just have the extra space for a dining room table, most people hang out at the island. So if you make a really big island with enough seating, this becomes the area where you eat dinner, you hang out. If you have people over and you play games, it usually ends up happening here. So the opening up of the walls and the space just tends to be what most people are really doing right now. And I don't really see it going away. So that's really it. That's what we got going on here. The next shot will probably be roughed in where it's, you know, you see all of the mechanical and the framing done and drywall. So stay tuned and I'll see you on the next video.